Yo, peace to the family. You already know it's your boy D Calico. You feel me? I'm here to break down Sonic the Hedgehog, Decoded. You feel me? The cult of video games. We're gonna get it started.
Blue streak speeds by. Sonic the Hedgehog, too fast for the naked eye. Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic, he can really move. Sonic, he's got an attitude. Sonic, he's the fastest thing alive. Look out when he storms through. Sonic the Hedgehog, don't doubt what he can do. Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic, he can really move. Sonic, he's got an attitude. Sonic, he's the fastest thing alive. He's the fastest thing alive. He's the fastest thing alive.
Yeah. And on that note, you feel me? We finna get it in. Sonic the Hedgehog. I made this image to show y'all Sonic plus Tails equals who does it equal? Well, I'm gonna tell you, it equals the Hindu god Vishnu, and his chariot, which happens to be his companion as a friend, of course, which is Garuda. But you're gonna get the note. You feel me? Who you call Tails is Garuda in this Hindu mythology brought to the video game world. This is the first time ever. Ain't nobody ever connected these dots. You feel me? D Calico gonna connect these dots. Like I said, it's never been done. So, that's what I'm here for. And speaking on Vishnu, we definitely have to touch on the 10 incarnations of Vishnu. Yes, the 10 incarnations. You know about the word reincarnate, but do you know what incarnate means? Well, you sure will. You're gonna know that it just simply means to manifest and be born back into the flesh. You feel me? And just in case my brothers pop up, I might have my brother Taz in the building. I might have my brother VJ in the building. He's straight from the east, not the middle. He way over there on the east, over there in what we call Hindu, what you call India. Yeah, this brother might be stopping through. We was all chopping it up, And like I said, nobody's never brought this information before. Nobody's connected these dots. We know that Sonic is blue. So, some people try to connect it to the avatar, and it's so many different gods that were actually blue, but you can't just go off of just the color. I'm sure that's not the know-all of all. So we're gonna tap into the science. Why is Vishnu Sonic? But like I said, first I wanted to touch on these 10 incarnations of Vishnu. One of these the very first is called Matsaya. Matsaya. Let me show y'all a good image of Matsaya. Showing you the primordial roots of Matsaya, basically. or of the religion itself, period. Because Messiah is seen like this. Messiah is a fish goddess. Yeah. Showing those primordial roots, showing that we come from the waters. You know, the Hindu Manu story is much older. It's called the Great, the Hindu Great Flood story, but it predates the biblical flood story. So it's the original flood story. And in that flood story, Vishnu, aka the protector, the protector god of this culture, he came in the form of a fish, that helped guide and protect the ark, you know, or in some cases it's spoken of as a whirlwind. Mm. But regardless, he protected that ark or that whirlwind, and that encompass all of these different creatures to be able to replenish the earth again. But yeah, that was the protector, Messiah. Mm. Like I was showing you, that was the first incarnation, and who they calling Kerma, huh? Kerma right here. Okay, here we go. Yeah, Kerma is half man, half tortoise. Mm. And over here in America, we we like to call it Turtle Island. Well, the great god Vishnu appeared as a tortoise. You know that the world and the mountains were set upon. Uh, so Karma would be the second incarnation of Vishnu. Varaha, which is this boar, and I love this image. So I'm gonna use this to show y'all who Varaha is. Is the boar. We don't want to quite call it a pig or anything. But I got my boy Taz in the building. What's going on, brother Taz?
Peace, brother. Peace.
You want to shout, give people a shout out, Anybody on my channel, they they love Tasmaniac also. You feel me?
Peace and love to the family, to all the to the Caliconians
Yeah,
within his realm. Thank you for having me on the platform, brother.
that's for sure. Sure. See, I'm breaking down the 10 incarnations of Vishnu, and then I can get into the showing them exactly why Vishnu is Sonic. I've already spoken on the first incarnation, which is Matsaya, which is the lower body of a fish, but the upper body has four arms, is a man with four arms. And Kerma, being the second incarnation, is half man, half tortoise. Like I was just speaking on Turtle Island, and I was showing how in this culture, this turtle is where all the mountains and land and things of the earth were built upon. So it ties in with what we know as far as in our culture over here, Turtle Island. And Varaha is where I'm at right now. The third incarnation of Vishnu is this wild boar. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give it the full screen. Yeah, it's this wild boar, and the
He blew, huh?
yes sir. The fourth is Narasimha, like Simba, is like Simba because that's why I compare it to. It helps me remember it anyway because it's half man, half lion with four arms. Let me see if I have.
Oh, okay.
Let me see if I have a representation.
Uh,
It would be seemingly like this, but he had a tiger, a lion lower half, like a sphinx. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure I probably have an image, but I don't want to show y'all too much until I get that far. And then we have the fifth incarnation, which is Vamana. Vamana is depicted or called the dwarf. Is looked at as the dwarf, and this is a different incarnation. Parasumha. Let me show you. The sixth incarnation is Para, Parashurama, which he has four hands carrying a battle axe, a sword, and a bow and arrow. So obviously this drawing here doesn't show four arms, but it doesn't show you that he's blue or that he's a Moor or anything either. But still, I'm just giving you a representation of Parashurama. And seven is another very famous. I used to think it was a different god in the Hindu culture, but it's Rama. Rama. Well, we getting words like Ramadan, huh? Don meaning master. Even though it's spelled D-A-N, that is how you really spell Don. Like a martial artist, those belts they do, the black belts they get, is called a Don. You feel me? Meaning master. Like first Dan, second Dan, third Dan. Like you're first degree black belt, third degree. But Dan is spelled D-A-N. But we over here we spell it O. But regardless, that just proves that vowels are interchangeable. And Rama is that it's two armed, just regular two arms holding a boat. Pretty much like this representation is showing us right here. And, the eighth incarnation is right here. This is Buddha. My bad. Krishna is the eighth incarnation, of Vishnu. The one all about peace. Krishna, where we get in Christ. And then the ninth incarnation is Buddha. The nappy-headed black Buddha.
Buddha
is where we get. That was the ninth incarnation of Vishnu. And then we have Calico, which they say rides a horse, savior of mankind, and he reestablishes Dharma. Dharma meaning divine law. So those are the 10 incarnations. And Calico is actually to come in the future. He hasn't even incarnated as Calico yet, but the text speak of him to come in the future. That's why you say rides a horse. Like the Revelation speak of things like this. You say he rides a horse. He's the savior of mankind and reestablishes Dharma. So wear many hats. That's my boy Vishnu. But I'm gonna show you why Vishnu he is Sonic. Like I say, like no one else has ever spoken of or even said. So I'm gonna show you. Starting. Right. Yeah. All right. Like it says right here, Vishnu is known as the preserver and is a god with many incarnations, generally regarded as nice, eternally young, attractive, and attractive. He is often depicted with a crown and reclining on a multi-headed serpent with a lotus flower emerging from his navel. He usually has four arms. One carries a mace, which represents the basic force from which all other forces are derived. The others hold a conch, which is a shell. Like before we had the bullhorn, we had the conch shell. And that also shows that we come from the waters. You feel me? Because before we were blowing out of a horn of a bull, we were blowing out of the shell from the ocean. But he carries a mace. In the other hand, he holds a conch. And he holds a disc. I'm gonna show you about these discs. And I'm gonna show you that Vishnu is the Lord of the Rings. And I'm sure everybody knows Sonic. That's what he collects. He collects the rings. And a ball of lotus, which is a lotus flower, that hasn't quite unfeathered, you know, opened up quite all the way. And Lakshmi, the goddess of death, is Vishnu's wife. The mount, which is the man eagle, is Garuda. This is where you're getting tails. Tails is Garuda. I'm sure tails is not a eagle, but I'm sure we got enough sense to know that a fox ain't flying. You know,
That look like a damn phoenix.
you know. Hey, and then they say Vishnu preserves and maintains order in the universe. Whenever destructive forces, usually symbolized by demons, threaten to overwhelm the world, Vishnu descends in the form of an avatar to restore moral order. His concern for human political and social activities express the gentle and just-minded side of the historical Vishnu. And the historical Vishnu is a good example of a single god that has coalesced from multiple gods over time. This is where I'm gonna, make, I'm gonna cut the light switch on for y'all, just in case y'all thought I wasn't gonna get my point out. You know, this is why Sonic is definitely connected to Vishnu. And Vishnu, like I said, one of his incarnations on this list I gave you was number 5, which is Vamana, which is called the dwarf. Sonic is pretty short too. You know, and they're both blue. What else do they have in common? Vamana, being the dwarf. In the early Vedic verses, Vishnu was a dwarf named Vamana, capable of crossing the universe in 3 strides. That sound familiar to Sonic?
Wasn't Tails able to fly too?
Yeah, he could fly, but we know nobody was faster than Sonic. And
right, no, I'm just talking about the little phoenix looking thing that you showed, and
yeah, that's
I
what
mean,
I'm saying.
I don't know if it's a phoenix or an eagle or what, but that motherfucker flying and it's the same color as the other one you showed.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and Vishnu, like I said, was a dwarf capable of crossing the universe in 3 strides. That sounds pretty Sonic-like, Sonic, yes, Sonic means sound, so it's like saying, that he's moving faster than the speed of sound. And obviously that's very comparative to Sonic, saying that he was capable of crossing the universe in 3 strides. See, those 3 strides represented uh, Earth, heaven, which is the universe, and the underworld. By crossing all 3 in those 3 strides, it means that he's conquered all 3. It made Vishnu the god over Earth, universe, and the underworld. He was minor deity who performed these feats mainly to amuse the other gods, and was mentioned only 5 times in the Rig Veda. Veda meaning knowledge. You feel me?
But yeah, there's a phrase too that not a phrase, but a word that explains just the word itself, sonic, and that's what the hell is it called? Sonic boom.
Yeah, sound. Yeah,
which
yeah,
is
sound.
it's a sound that's associated with the shock waves that that are created whenever an object travels through the air faster than the speed of sound.
Yes,
So I
sir.
mean, so that just sonic and sonic boom when and that's what he achieves when he begins to run. He achieves that sonic boom and shit because you if I remember the game correctly, you gotta hold the button, whichever the button is, and that motherfucker get the zzz, and when you release that button, that motherfucker go sonic boom, bah, and just lightning speed. If you don't know what the stage is gonna be like, you gonna bump into all types of shit because that motherfucker gonna be going literally faster than the speed of sound.
Yes, hey, let me see. But like I was saying, uh, he mainly, did these feats just to amuse the other gods, and was mentioned only 5 times in an ancient text called the Rig Veda. His antics as a dwarf made him popular, and he became a major god. It is believed after he was merged with an early sun god, Vishnu is associated with right action and is considered an upholder of Hindu values. He preserves the universe by staying awake. If he falls asleep, creation will withdraw into a seed from which it will emerge when creation occurs again. His role as preserver is greatly valued by Indians who worship Vishnu and pay homage to him in many ways. Uh, Vaishnavites, meaning devotees of Vishnu, are one of the largest Hindu sects. Huh? As one of the most popular and important gods in the Hindu pantheon, Vishnu is surrounded by a number of extremely popular and well-known stories, as is the focus of a number of sects devoted entirely to his worship. Vishnu contains a number of personalities, often represented as 10 major descents or avatars. Like I say, the 10 incarnations of Vishnu, in which the god has taken on physical forms in order to save earthly creatures from destruction. In one story, the earth was drowning in a huge flood. That's when Matsaya, his first incarnation, saved the world. Like I say, the Hindu story, the Hindu great flood story is actually the first great flood story. But in one story, the earth was drowning in a huge flood. So to save it, Vishnu took on the body of a giant turtle. Oh, that was Kurma, the second one, and lifted the earth on his back out of the waters. A tale found in the Vedas describes a demon who cannot be conquered. Responding to the pleas of the gods, Vishnu appeared before the demon as a dwarf, and that was just leading into many of the stories of the dwarf Vamana, which is the incarnation of Vishnu, a primordial incarnation. So we're not talking about nothing modern, even when it comes to Vishnu. This is, primordially, he was a dwarf, and he was Vamana, which is this, super fast god. Let me check on everything. Make sure everything's good. I'm making sure you still there, Tab.
No, I'm listening to you.
Yes, sir. I've been saying, but yeah, this has, being able to show y'all where did who Sonic plus Tails equals good old Vishnu and Garuda. You know,
Right, that's what I'm talking about. And Tails was able to fly. Sonic didn't have that ability. The
exactly.
only way that within the game, if he wanted to get somewhere to where it was up high, he needed Tails for to help with that journey to either carry him up there or for him to go for Tails to go up there and finish up the stage because he there was certain parts of the stage. It's just like what Crumb was saying about what Crumb was saying about Yoshi. There's a lot of stages within within Super Mario that you can't pass the stage just by being Super Mario. You have to literally sacrifice Yoshi because you gotta jump with him. And once you're in the middle of the jump, you gotta jump off of Yoshi and he falls into the hole. But now you got something to hit to you could push off of so you can actually make the jump. So you literally sacrifice Yoshi. There's certain stages within Mario you can't reach, you can't finish unless you use another character like Yoshi. Just like in Sonic, there is certain stages you can't finish them unless you utilize that yellow fox looking thing. But it can't be a fox if it could fly.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So obviously the comparison to this man eagle seems a little more appropriate. You know what I'm saying? Because they were making like some kind of a man fox that can fly. You feel me? So because obviously it was a man because it didn't never walk on all fours. You feel me? So Tails is a man, which is actually Garuda. Garuda was a god also, and he lost a competition, a bet, of sorts against Vishnu because they wanted, they both being gods. Like somebody got to be the leader. It's like heads or tails, you know. Whoever can throw this football the farthest get to be the captain of the team. You know what I mean? And by losing, he had to become the vehicle for Vishnu, which is the same thing for Tails. Tails is the vehicle for Sonic. When it's time to take flight. You feel me? Other than that, he can handle. He can walk his own. He can walk and run on his own. But when it's time to fly,
Right.
his vehicle of choice is Garuda, and Sonic's is Tails. Yeah. So I'm definitely wanted to. Now that I done talked about the 10 incarnations of Vishnu, I showed you how Sonic and Vamana speed compare, which is Vamana is an incarnation of Vishnu once again, and I showed you how Tails is Garuda. I also want to show you how Vishnu is who I call the Lord of the Rings. We definitely got to associate the rings with Sonic. We have to. You know, Sonic. That's all he. That's the point of the game to get that money. That's how we look at it. But he's getting these rings, which is heavily associated with Vishnu, as you seen in the image when he was Krishna. He even had a ring. Every image, every incarnation of Vishnu, he has these rings. Which is very similar to a halo, huh? Very
Yeah,
similar.
sure the fuck is.
Yeah. So when I say that Vishnu is the Lord of the rings, he is the Lord of the halo. So it's like saying really he's the Lord of the souls. And even more so to prove it, like I was telling my brother Taz, the name of these rings, if you want to tell him, brother Taz, what are the name of these rings that Vishnu has?
Well, from what you enlightened me with, I wasn't even aware of that. They're called chakra rings,
Yes, sir.
which that's exactly what our energy vortexes within us are. They're a vortex. A vortex is a ring of energy.
Exactly. You see what it say? That the chakra, which is the spinning disc, is on the left of Krishna in this image. But I'll show you even Vishnu, of course. In any other image you see Vishnu, he has these rings, which is called the chakra. Yeah. And we see these same rings consistently with Sonic. Hmm. Okay, they're blue. Okay, they're both dwarfs. Okay, they both have sonic speed. Okay, they both have a companion, which is their vehicle that flies. Same color, same everything. You know, and like I say, Vishnu is the Lord of the Rings. Not to say that he's been called that, but we've been wasting our time calling anybody else that. There is no other Lord of the Rings like Vishnu. That's why another major reason I compare him to Sonic. Because, what is that game? What is the point of the game of Sonic without these rings? You know, everywhere.
Right now, that's the whole point of the game. There's no there's again there's certain stages within Sonic you can't finish it unless you acquire a certain amount of rings.
Exactly. Exactly. You won't go to the next level. Period. So that's why when I say he's the Lord of the Rings, he's really the Lord of the chakras, which is the name of these rings. You feel me? And we all know the power that these bowls like this have, which is shaped like a ring, of course. The power that it vibrates and emits is
Right.
so harmonized, so harmonizing and peaceful. It's powerful. And these rings being chakras are representing this kind of an energy. You know, like I think this is even called a chakra bowl at a lot of times. Because that's what the shape of it is a chakra, which is a ring. You know.
Right. Well, I mean, when you I looked, I would not look, but I studied a little bit of Buddhism.
Yeah.
I like the whole story of Buddha, which it is derived from the Hindu perspective or whatever. But when you start your mantras, depending on what chakra vortex you're attempting to work on, you have to utilize this. It looks just like that, just like that thing that you just passed up. It's like that, but they come in different sizes depending of the sound wave that you want to emit. And when you hit it, because it makes that sound, like
Yeah.
boom,
Exactly.
so that vibration that it creates, it differs with the size, the exact shape that it's in, how long it vibrates and all that other stuff. So to meditate, depending on what chakra you're working, you're gonna grab the ring, or the chakra ring, to be able to attain the initiating vibration that you need to start your meditation process or whatever. And you can look at it in like in Buddhist videos before they start meditating and shit. They always grab that thing. They either drink something or they're grabbing that thing and tong, they hit it, they put it down, and then they get on their meditation stance.
For real. That's real. And I'm glad you said that name Buddha, because like I said, that is the ninth incarnation of Vishnu. You know what I mean? So the Buddhists indeed deal with the chakra rings. You know what I mean? And Buddha himself is just an incarnation of Vishnu, who we speaking of, in relation to Sonic. You know,
Uh, yeah.
yes, sir. All this time.
Right, yeah, I never even I was shit. I doubt I'd even would have made that fucking connection, because it's not something that that when it comes to stuff like Hinduism, Buddhism, and stuff like that, it's not very prevalent in the I'm gonna go as far as saying the Americas, period. Not that is unknown or nobody does it, but it's not something that's practiced wildly. When people think of that, they think of meditation and I don't know. People don't think of that type of deity when they think of, I guess, religion on this side of the world, anyways.
Yeah.
So that's why I would have never made the association, because shit, the fuck, Vishnu and Sonic, that's like that's straight out of left field and shit.
Yes, sir. Yeah. And then they had the facts to back it up. I got receipts. You know what I mean?
Right? Yeah.
Definitely got the receipts to this. The receipts gave me the assumption. So I'm not really assuming. I'm just able to see, just like all of us who are watching right now can see. We we all know that these rings, this blue skin, this dwarfness, this speed he has, his flying companion, and more, it just shows so much. You know, there's no such thing as coincidence.
Right. Yeah. Right.
And like you say, the Buddhist type of religion, all of that's coming from over there in Asia, where we getting the Nintendo and the Genesis invented. You know,
Right.
like,
Exactly. Right. So it coincides with each other.
exactly. Like when you broke down Super Mario, we all got into that video and we found out, how all of their games have been based on things from their kind of culture. You feel me? Like if they put a swastika, they're not putting a swastika, they're putting a manji. You feel me? So they still implementing so much of their culture into their video games. You feel
Right.
me? There's no way that this is an accident. There's no such thing as coincidence. So
Right.
you are no. And let me get I want to find one showing y'all the characters. This is really only one other main character that I want to tap on, and it's actually Dr. Robotnik. I'm sure there's a image of him somewhere here. But irregardless, we all know the fat guy with the stomach,
Right.
with the long mustache, big curly mustache. It's not hard at all to tell. And see, that was an image of Vamana right there. This is Vamana. This is the dwarf incarnation of Vishnu. Vishnu got to sneak up on people sometimes. Vishnu will fade the black and go in the back and just chill and let everybody in heaven, the heavens, and the universe do what they want. But when things just get too out of hand, he has to come back, and he can't just come back looking like regular Vishnu. He had to sneak up on him.
Right.
And that just show that we have to treat everybody. We got to treat each other like gods, basically. You know what I mean? Like there's no reason that he should have to sneak. A god got to sneak up on you because he know you won't treat him the right way if he came at you. You know what I'm saying? If he come at you straight up, then you would have never, done what he got you to do. You feel me? Because he most likely had to trick him into, falling for whatever it is he needed to. Like as a dwarf, it was a great king named Beetle that, he was actually fond of the king because he looked at him to be a righteous guy. But he still had bigger things to do as far as like he had to right the universe. He had to get some other things right on another level. So he had to come as this dwarf to this god, to this king Beetle, and he got him to eventually, take him up on a bet. And the bet was like he didn't think this little short guy could, he was like he told him when he wanted some land or whatever, and he had convinced the king to give him a chance on doing something to get the land. He told him, the king was so generous. He said, however far you can jump in 3 steps is how much land you can have. Damn it, you know what I mean? And like I say, in 3 steps, he done went across the whole universe. You feel me? And it's actually said that in that time, in that instance, he only did 2 steps, which was he took over Earth and the universe, and he didn't particularly get the keys to the gate of the underworld. But in other instances, he definitely took all 3 steps. So Vishnu is that God over all 3 realms. You feel me? No matter the incarnation. So this is that door where Sonic is really getting his,
Right.
you know, his science form. And that was that was the lion, the one with the lower half of a lion, or half man, half lion with 4 arms. Narasimha. So when I say Simha, I think about Simba. You feel me? I'm like, wow. I'm pretty sure, all of that's connected. So It just take time to get into the culture, but it'll get figured out. Let me see if I can still find an image of Dr. Robotnik for you. Yeah, like I say, Nara Simha. Like you say, see, like if this H was a B, it'd be Simba. You feel me? So I'm seeing a connection with Simba, and I'm gonna figure it out. It ain't it's already figured. You feel me? So it's just gonna get deeper,
Right. You build from there.
real. And like I said, the first incarnation, Messiah. You see the rings, you see them uh, like a halo. So all this talk of angels and halos and stuff, all hail Lord Vishnu. Uh, that's where we getting these rings. If you want your halo, hey, you better have the right people on your team. And yeah, that's once again that dwarf, Vamana, which is the fifth incarnation of Vishnu. This dwarf is who I said tell you where they're getting the Sonic from. Huh? He
That
pointing
is
at
a little motherfucker though. Go back to that picture.
yeah, yeah. Yes, sir.
That is a little
And this is the
motherfucker.
King Beetle who who he asked for the opportunity to have some land. And the king, being so generous, told him, however much you can get in a few jumps. Like, let me see you, you know, do 3 long jumps, goddamn it. That's how much land I give you. It's no problem. I got all of it. And he know who he was fucking with, you know, for real. This Sonic, baby. I mean, Romana, this Vishnu, incarnated. Yeah. Like Sonic said, hey, that's me. You know, a couple of his friends around here, of course. I could get in all on, but I ain't got the time. I'm definitely gonna touch on the fact that his daughter is the name of a Hindu goddess. Hmm. Like I say, this is his vehicle, which is Tails. Sonic's vehicle is Tails. Just like
That's how he that's how he flew and shit.
yep, just like Vishnu's vehicle is Garuda. You know, yeah, Tails and Garuda. You know, the connection never been there before until today, and I'm sure everybody can see that. Hold on, I think we got an image of yeah, Dr. Robotnik right here, huh? Who does Dr. Robotnik represent? We already said Sonic is Vishnu, one of the many incarnations of Vishnu, which is Vamana. We said Tails is Garuda, his companion. And who is this other main character, Dr. Robotnik? Well, Dr. Robotnik is just what he looks like. Dr. Robotnik represents the Anglo-Saxon. Hmm? These are the people who invaded India and tried to steal this, culture from these people. They don't want them worshiping Vishnu. So we have to do it in occult ways, in an occult manner, which is to put it in video games and storybooks.
He kind of do look like um them the motherfucker. He kind of dressed like the motherfuckers that standing in front of the queen's castle and shit, and they ain't even supposed to move. They just got that big ass funny hat, that black hat on the top.
Hmm.
The guards of the castle or whatever. He kind of dressed like them and shit with all them little things right next to him.
For sure. I'm telling you, these Anglo-Saxons, uh, they'll even steal words like they'll call themselves like they'll act like they're from a whole nother land. You feel me? They'll say that they're the nobles of India, which is, hypocrisy. You know what I mean? But in all actuality, they are Anglo-Saxons. We know that. You feel me? This is exactly who he is. He represents those invaders who want to overtake these people land with what? Technology. Huh? That is Dr. Robotnik's ultimate asset, is technology. But justice prevails. Sonic and Tails, Vamana and Garuda, or Vishnu and Garuda. Like I was just probably want to show y'all a few more. Just a few more. I want to probably cap it off. Let me just show y'all. Matter of fact, I don't know if everybody knew that Sonic has a daughter. I didn't know Sonic had kids. But studying all these characters, I learned that fast. You feel me? Learned about a good old Sonic rather quickly. And this is actually Sonic's daughter. This is the daughter of Sonic and Blaze. What is her name? Her name is Kali, like the Hindu goddess Kali, the destroyer. Vishnu, known as the preserver. Kali, known as the destroyer. I find it no coincidence that another Hindu god or goddess is the name of his daughter. I definitely have fun breaking this down, brother. I don't know
Oh
if,
yeah, but shit. I mean, you can't help but notice all them things, with Cali and the
yeah,
birds, the representation. I mean, it's like right there.
it's mapped out, ain't it, brother?
Right. But shit, I appreciate you having me on the show.
That's for sure, man. I appreciate you hanging out with me. Make sure there ain't no image that I really want to see. I think y'all seen everything, you know, and it's a lot y'all already knew. If I had no images to show, we've all seen Sonic and Tails so much that only thing I had to show y'all was Vishnu and Garuda. You know, it's just this, it's just as easy right here. You know, this,
Right.
this is the
There's a
map.
connection there for sure.
Oh yeah, big connection. Like you see my boy Vishnu, always in his hand, huh? Got them chakras, them them rings. So you feel me? All hail the Lord of the Rings, the Lord of the chakras, and the Lord of souls, because that's what the halo represents. So you know, peace to the family. Let my boy, my brother Taz, let y'all know where y'all can find him, and y'all let us know what y'all want next, and you might get what you wish for.
I hear you. I hear you. Yeah. Well, thank you for having me, bro. I'm your humble brother, Tasmaniac Wolf. That's how you can find me on Facebook. And you can find me on all other platforms under the Taz Show on YouTube and Instagram and Twitter and all the platforms. So feel free to check out my material and feel free to ask us for anything else. We're usually doing collabs on different kinds of work. So
Now for sure, y'all go ahead and smash that like button for me. Y'all know I appreciate it. That just helps to get the algorithm out, or go ahead and share it because nobody knows none of this. So, I was gonna have a brother on here from East India. Nobody's ever connected these dots. So, I was gonna show y'all from a person from that side of the world. But regardless, you feel me? I know the message got to the like minds understand. And I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all very much. You feel me? D Calico Taz, the Taz show. Y'all already know. Major Crumb TV affiliates. Peace. We out.
Peace.